Every outlet covered the Louis Vuitton minidress. Every outlet covered the Gunmetal Pearls caption and the fan comments calling her a supermodel and saying the hair is herring. Every outlet covered the in and out quote because of course they did. A double Olympic gold medalist at the most exclusive party in Hollywood saying she is mostly excited about the burger catering is the kind of thing that writes itself, and every entertainment journalist in America reached for it at the exact same moment. But inside the Vanity Fair GRWM video that has now been watched millions of times across platforms, there are moments that nobody covered. Moments that are funnier than the in-and-out quote and more revealing than the minidress and more honest than any red carpet photo could ever be. Moments that show you exactly who Alysa Liu is when the cameras catch her off guard instead of when she is posed and ready for them. This is the Vanity Fair night that the media did not report. And it is better than the version they did. Let us start at the very beginning of the GRWM video. Before the Louis Vuitton. Before the makeup. Before the hair was done. Before any of the red carpet energy existed. Alysa Liu walked into the shot. She was wearing a loose t-shirt, checkered blue pajamas and cotton slippers. The camera was rolling. Vanity Fair was in the room. This was the most prestigious fashion and culture magazine in America filming her for official content that would go on their platforms and be watched by millions of people. And she forgot what she was supposed to say. She opened her mouth. She started to introduce herself. She lost the thread. She stopped. She looked at the camera. She started laughing. And then she had to start the whole introduction over. Not a performance. Not a scripted relatable moment engineered by a PR team to make her seem down to earth. An actual genuine moment of a 20-year-old in her pajamas, in a hotel room, with a camera in her face, forgetting what comes next. And cracking up about it. The kind of thing that happens to normal people all the time and almost never happens in official brand content because official brand content is edited before it reaches you. Vanity Fair left it in. They left in the forget and the laugh and the restart because they understood, correctly, that it was the most compelling thing she did in that hotel room. More compelling than the outfit reveal. More compelling than the jewelry showcase. The moment where Alysa Liu in checkered pajamas and cotton slippers forgot her line and laughed about it is the moment that makes you understand why 8 million people have followed her since Milan. She is not performing being relatable. She is just this. Then came the piercing conversation. And this is the detail that has been covered exactly nowhere in the English language sports or entertainment media and deserves its own moment in this script. During the GRWM video, as she was getting ready and talking through her look, she brought up her piercings. She has a frenulum piercing, the small hoop that sits on the inside of the upper lip and shows when you smile, which has become one of her most recognizable aesthetic details alongside the striped hair. Fans have been asking about it since Milan. There were entire threads after the Olympics trying to identify what the small thing on her teeth was in the celebration clips. She said in the GRWM video that she did the frenulum piercing herself. Not at a studio. Not with a professional. Herself. And then she said she wants to get licensed to become a professional body piercer. Let that sit for a second. She is a double Olympic gold medalist. The newest face of Nike. The first American woman to win figure skating gold since 2002. She has a key to the city of Oakland. She was just at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. She is on the cover of Teen Vogue. She is headlining a 29 City Stars on Ice tour. She just turned down Dancing with the Stars. And her next personal ambition, the thing she mentioned in the Vanity Fair GRWM video that has been watched millions of times, is getting licensed to pierce people professionally in Oakland. Not a second Olympics. Not a world championship. Not a fashion line or a documentary or a brand empire. A body piercing license. In her hometown. Every article about her says she's breaking the traditional image of figure skaters. Nobody has been paying attention to how specifically and how completely she is doing that until you hear her talk about wanting to pierce people in Oakland and realize this is not a bit. This is genuinely what she is thinking about. According to legal requirements in California, to become a licensed body piercer in Oakland she would need to complete formal training, find a licensed facility willing to work with her, and provide proof of identification. The training and apprenticeship process typically takes several months to a year. She is 20 years old, has 8 months before the Stars on Ice tour ends, and is apparently considering spending some of that time working toward a body piercing license. There is no athlete in the history of American sports who has had the post-Olympic career conversation she is currently having with herself. Then came the Dancing with the Stars moment. And the context around this one makes it better than the quote alone. Entertainment Tonight caught Alysa Liu on the Vanity Fair red carpet and asked her directly whether she would consider competing on Dancing with the Stars season 35. It is a reasonable question. Several of her teammates have been actively and publicly campaigning for spots on the show. Amber Glenn, who won gold with the U.S. team at Milan, told Adam Rippon in an Instagram video that DWTS is definitely on her post-Olympics bucket list and that she loves everything about it, including the costuming and the set design. Madison, Chock and Evan Bates appeared on Live with Kelly and Mark on March 11 and expressed genuine excitement about potentially joining the cast. And then there is Alysa Liu, who has a DWTS pro, Riley Arnold, who actually gave a brief ballroom dancing lesson to members of the U.S. figure skating squad during the Milan Olympics. Who has teammates who love the show. Who is coming off the most visible athletic performance in American winter sports in 2 decades. She looked at the ET camera and said, "Oh, I don't know if I would do Dancing with the Stars." That is not a no. It is also not a yes. It is the specific non-answer of someone who has been extremely busy winning Olympic gold medals and attending Vanity Fair parties and considering body piercing licenses and does not currently have bandwidth to think about whether she wants to learn the cha-cha for a primetime ABC competition show. But the contrast between her teammates enthusiastically pitching themselves for the show and Alysa Liu saying, "Oh, I don't know," is the most Alysa Liu thing imaginable. Amber Glenn has a bucket list that includes DWTS. Alysa Liu has a bucket list that apparently includes a professional piercing credential. Both are completely valid. Only one of them is completely unprecedented. There was one more moment from the Vanity Fair weekend that has been quoted by exactly one outlet and deserves far more attention than it has received. In a Rolling Stone piece published around the same time as the Oscars festivities, Alysa Liu said something about her journey from burnout to gold medal that is the most precise and most honest thing she has said about the whole arc. She said, "If I didn't hit rock bottom I could not have gone up. Not I had to work harder. Not I found better training methods. Not I discovered my passion again. If I didn't hit rock bottom I could not have gone up." She is saying explicitly that the worst period of her life was the necessary condition for the best performance of her life. That the trauma and the PTSD and the absolutely horrible mental health and the inability to go near a rink were not obstacles to the gold medals. They were the path to them. That is a different relationship with hardship than most athletes describe. Most athletes talk about adversity as something they overcame. Something they pushed through. Something that got in the way of the destination. Alysa Liu is saying the rock bottom was the destination. That she had to go down to that specific depth to find the thing she needed to come back up with. She said it in the middle of a fashion weekend. In the context of a rollout that also included pajamas and forgotten introductions and body-piercing ambitions and an In-N-Out burger. She said one of the most psychologically sophisticated things any 20-year-old has ever said about resilience in a window of interviews that also included her saying she forgot her line and laughing about it. Both of those things are the same person. Simultaneously. That is who she is. Here is the full picture of the Vanity Fair weekend that most of the coverage gave you. Louis Vuitton minidress. Gunmetal Pearls. In-N-Out. Smiley on the red carpet. And here is the full picture of the Vanity Fair weekend that most of the coverage missed. Checkered blue pajamas and cotton slippers. Forgot the intro. Started laughing. Wants a body piercing license in Oakland. Turned down Dancing with the Stars with the energy of someone who has too many other things going on. Said if I didn't hit rock bottom I could not have gone up. Said she feels pretty sick about being in Hollywood for the first time. Said her look was pretty awesome with the specific lack of drama that she brings to every compliment she gives herself. Both pictures are true. The mini dress picture and the pajamas picture. The red carpet Alysa and the hotel room Alysa. The gold medal moment and the forgotten intro moment. The Nike face and the aspiring body piercer. The global fashion icon and the person who is most excited about the in-and-out catering. She is all of those things simultaneously. And she has never once tried to resolve the contradiction because to her there is no contradiction. She is just this. All of it. At the same time. Without apology or performance or any sense that these things should not coexist in one person. That is the thing the media keeps trying to package into a single consistent narrative and keeps failing to contain. She broke the traditional image of figure skaters. She is a rising fashion icon to watch. She is Gen Z's most authentic athlete. All true. All incomplete. The full picture is a 20-year-old in checkered pajamas in a hotel room forgetting her intro and laughing about it, who is also going to be on a Nike campaign next month, who also wants to pierce people professionally in Oakland, who also said if I didn't hit rock bottom I could not have gone up. That is Alysa Liu at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. And it is better than anything the coverage gave you.